So talk to me about the transformative power of AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's moving at a breakneck speed, AI, and it's been incredibly transformative, especially over this last year. So Celtra has been very thoughtful and pragmatic in how we bring it into the platform. So thinking about it from like a design and production capabilities, we have integrated in places such as background removal. So that's something that, whenever we showcase this in a demo capacity, all of the design and production artists are just like, yes, give me all of the AI background removal that you can possibly give us. And things like smart image cropping. So using AI to crop images based on a focal point, and then applying that crop across all the different formats, channels, and sizes where that image is being used, respective to its boundaries. And then moving into kind of predictive AI, we are starting to use that in a couple different places as well. So one, surfacing designs that have worked historically really well in media in the past. So at the beginning of the design process, a designer doesn't have to make a guess as to whether this creative that they're being asked to produce is going to perform well. They actually have surfaced creatives inside of the platform that will then give them predictive reliability. This is going to do well in media. And then further to that, thinking also about scoring creatives as they are being built inside the platform. So as a designer starting to build these creatives, we are predictably telling them this may not perform as well as others in the past, maybe make some of these small tweaks before you ship this off to media and put it in market. But it's been an unbelievable year. I mean, it's kind of unclear where things are going to go, but it's fun to be at the forefront of this in the industry.
And so what does Celtra do for the customer or consumer experience?
Yeah, sure. So we work with some of the largest brands, publishers, platforms, and agencies in the world. And it's all about helping them streamline creative production from end to end, removing a lot of the manual barriers that you would see when doing things in offline design tools. And really just creating this virtuous circle of better creative, better media performance, better return on ad spend. We live in this crazy attention-driven economy today, so you only have a fraction of a second to get in front of a consumer. And we really just believe in enabling creativity. So there's tons of data out there in the world. And in years past, we see that really being the crutch a lot of times in the media world. You know you're going to see a creative asset. You know that you're going to see an ad. Let's make it incredibly relevant, but also elegant as well. So that's what we really believe in, just enabling creativity across the entire ecosystem.
If you could fix one thing with AI, what would it be?
I think right now where we are, I think a lot of the legislation is having a hard time keeping up with the breakneck speed of AI. So kind of like stepping even outside of the advertising world, but just looking at things like, I know social media is not a source of truth always for what's real and what's fictitious. But I think getting to the point where there needs to be some sort of legislation is identifying that this was created by AI, this is created by humans with some sort of automation assistance. So that to me is like maybe one of the most pressing things, because I just think about my children that are growing up now and the AI assistance that they get of just walking over to a smart object and asking it for the weather, asking it to speak to them in Spanish, things like that nature. But then you start looking at some of this content you see online, and it's really hard to decipher what's been created by humans, what's been created by AI. So I think there needs to be some sort of separation between the two of those going forward. So a pretty broad thing to fix, but something that's going to need to be addressed before we get too far.
What are you excited about in the year ahead?
I'm excited about a lot. Speaking through the lens of Celtra, I'm really excited about predictive reliability of how creatives are going to perform in market before having to do any sort of post-mortem on a campaign. So understanding ahead of time what's being built, and then understanding how this is going to perform in market based on tons of historical data. So that's something that Celtra's really been focused on. And we think about automation kind of like in a number of different steps, but kind of, step one is zero automation. Step 5 is completely autonomous automation. So we can't expect to get to level 5 that quickly, just because we've only really truly realized autonomous driving in the past couple of years, and still has a long way to go. But I think making those incremental steps over the next year is really what we're focused on.